So Superbike Advocates Racing Team are down at Phillip Island. We're actually using it as a test for our upcoming round 1 of the Australian Superbike Championship in conjunction with the World Superbike Championship. Luckily enough, we got some track time here this weekend, 4 days on track with the Victorian Road Race Championship. So important time for us as a team to get some settings and some just acclimation time for me on the bike. You know, the Ducati V4R is a new bike for me, so getting used to the way the bike makes power and the way the bike turns, and the team trying to optimise the setting for me is what this weekend's all about. So we're very excited to be on track here at Phillip Island. It's the best track in the world, so yeah, really looking forward to putting our best foot forward and getting ready for our championship start. Yeah, so we run these clear tear-offs that Arrow provide me with, just so that we've got clear vision out on the track all the time in case of, say, an oil leak or something from another person's bike. We run these tear-offs in. You can see there's a post here to hold the clear visor on. Then when I'm out on the track, if somebody's bike blows up or you get a whole bunch of bugs on there, you've got to be very selective when you use it because you want to get to the end with some clear vision. But vision is of utmost importance when you're out there racing, so we run these clear tear-offs, and yeah, I actually put a bit of tape on the end of the tear-off here to stop it from vibrating, mainly because the vibration right against your ear of this fluttering can be almost deafening. So I run a bit of tape on here to sort of be like a bit of a shock absorber for the plastic, and then yeah, just cut it to shape, and yeah, lucky enough to have the best equipment in the world. So throughout a lot of our testing, we will change springs in the front of the bike and in the rear of the bike, and sometimes you'll see in our videos the springs coming out of the bike and springs going back into the bike. A lot of the reasons for that is to try and optimize the setting of the bike so that the motorcycle can distribute the weight of me and the bike evenly between the two tyres on the track, and different racetracks have different requirements. So you know, some tracks are heavy braking tracks like in Queensland, and we will run a stiffer fork spring, and then we come to Phillip Island, we'll run a softer fork spring, and then other circuits will have different demands on the rear shock spring, and then how we balance the motorbike up to suit each track always changes depending on the conditions and the tyre that we use. So throughout the season we'll see a lot of springs going in and out of the bike. We have different rate springs, so some springs will be heavier than other springs, and we'll always change that setting trying to look for a good tyre wear to optimise grip. And then if we have an extreme scenario like rain, we'll always go to a softer spring. So we've got a full range of springs here supplied by YSS, and we've got some support from YSS technicians, and a lot of the time when you're in the pit area you'll see the suspension coming in and out of our bike, and that's just us optimising the motorbike for the conditions which change all the time. So of an evening the mechanics take the brakes off the bike. We have quick release couplings on the brake lines so that the calipers can come off, and service the calipers, clean them, make sure that the pads are correct, and we like to keep the pads with the same discs usually for their lifespan, so It's just part of servicing a race bike of an evening so that the next day the brakes are ready to go and working at their optimum level.
Just balanced up the wheel because Glenn's complaining of vibration. Just make sure everything's right. So these are just done on a static balance basically. So you put the wheel on here, and as it spins, you spin to the heaviest point. But this is not right because I've got the tyre warmer at the moment. But it just spins to the heaviest point, and you basically put the weight up there to offset the imbalance. So then that way you let it go. It should, in theory, stay there. It's a perfect balance.
We're just, the bike has a GPS beacon which tells the bike essentially its location on the track, which we use for data analysis. So because of all the carbon fibre on the bodywork, sometimes you get some interference. So the front of the bike, because there's sections at the front of the bike which can interfere with the GPS reception up here and like that. We'll just move the beacon towards the back of the bike where it's always got an uninterrupted view from the rider or anything like that. So hopefully up there it gives us much better reception and much better quality data.
So after 2 days of testing here, we've now got some qualifying sessions and a race this afternoon. The bike's now being set up and a few parts changed, so we're in top trim. The testing went well and we're looking for some reasonable results today, but time will tell and we'll see you this afternoon.
Saturday here at Phillip Island for the Victorian Road Race Championship. Again, it's a testing day for us, but we started out with a qualifying session earlier this morning and had some electrical problems with the bike. Still using a standard ECU. We ran into some issues where the standard ECU didn't like how much wheel spin the bike was producing up in the last two corners. Turn 12 at Phillip Island is very renowned for all tyre spin, and we still managed to qualify on pole position, but I was having surging on the bike, very similar to if the bike's running out of fuel, and basically it was the electronics not liking how much wheel spin we were getting. The crew went to work, pulled the bike apart and tried to investigate if there was an issue with the wheel speed sensors, do the best they can to try and make sure that everything was calibrated. And by the end of the session we were still P1, so we started the first race of the weekend in first position. Luckily enough, we were able to do a tyre calibration. Basically, I just had to ride the bike at a set speed and let the ECU calibrate the wheel circumference, front and rear, and it seemed to have fixed the problem. So we had a race just then, an 8-lap race, and yeah, got a decent start, was running second for a while, got to have a look at our competition, and then with a few laps to go, I decided to go for it and get to the lead, and because I felt confident to win. And yeah, we were in the lead with about a lap and a half to go, maybe half a lap to go. I think we got a red flag, but we were credited with the win, so great work by the team. You know, everybody here at Superbike Advocates is putting in a big effort. The team are working really well together. We've got some good help with our suspension. The YSS shocks are working really well. Our Pirelli tyres, we've got a range of Pirelli tyres we've been testing this weekend, and we've managed to test everything, and we're just slowly ticking all the boxes that we need to tick before we come here to race the World Superbike Championship. So all in all, a great day, and can't wait for tomorrow.
So on Sunday morning, we came out and won race 2 of the event, which was great. We keep learning more and more about the motorbike and improving on it. The third race was going to be a 12-lap feature race. They call it the Harvey Wiltshire Memorial Race, and the track had some issues with some oil down from another class, and at turn 2 they've done an extensive cleanup, but unfortunately in that third race I had a big high side in some of the dirt that they used. They used like this powder to absorb the oil, but when I went in there, back end came right round on me and a pretty decent high side, and damaged the bike enough to the point where we had to pack up and go home. So it wasn't the best way to finish our test, but all the signs are positive with our speed, and we move on to the first round of the championship in a good decision, and I'm really looking forward to hitting the track and getting racing for the year.